What's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing tonight? Moss, what's up, bro? Womack, Adonis, Ignorant, Snailium. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? My Cat Rage, how you doing, bro? Bromis, how's it going? How is everybody doing tonight? Chrollo, you said goon diff. Ignorant, you said Bisky video, it's a W. Thank you, man, I appreciate it. Weiss, what's up? Slim, what's up? You said you got to work in the morning. Good night, y'all. Peace out, Slim. Thanks for stopping by for a moment there. What's up, everybody? I originally, bro, I was planning on doing a debate live stream today. Like, I wanted to do either Killua versus Kurapika debate, or I wanted to do like a Sanji versus Zoro, but the day just got away from me, bro. The day got away from me, bro. I slept, like, last night we were up streaming till like 4 a.m. I slept like 4 hours, bro. And then I just I made 3 shorts, posted those, and then just like started my day from there. Slept in the middle of the day for a couple hours, went to jujitsu, got back home, ate dinner, and now it's super late. So it's like, yeah, it's a little too late for a debate. So I thought, you know what, we can just power scale Hisoka for a little bit tonight. A2, you said, bro, what is the schedule, bro? Basically, my Hatsu ability in real life is just no sleep. That is, it just gives you the power to never sleep, bro. Fantasy, what's up, man? But yeah, so originally I was going to title this live stream like Hunter x Hunter Q&A, and then I thought maybe I could do a just the yapping stream where I just sit here and just yap about Hunter x Hunter, like blatantly yapping about whatever Hunter x Hunter concepts come to mind. But then I was thinking, you know what? No, it would be a little bit more fun to just talk about how strong Hisoka is. Chrollo, you said your sleep schedule is dog water for real? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But yeah, I wanted to have an open discussion about like how strong exactly do you guys think Hisoka is? And I'll give a couple points for like why his power is really impressive. And I also wanted to analyze a little bit of like the Hisoka versus Chrollo battle. I'm still in the middle of like making the Hisoka versus Chrollo as obvious video, so I don't want to spoil like points that I'm going to use in the video, so I'm going to try my best to avoid like saying things that I'll use in the video here, but there's still a lot to talk about without that. So yeah, let's start yapping about Hisoka. You said, how do you survive with that sleep schedule, bro? Good question, man. Well, anyways, let's get into the let's start talking about Hisoka's strength, okay? So and Bromus, thank you for posting the Discord link, man. I appreciate that, bro. So yeah, this scene here with Hisoka is used to downplay the Zodiac a lot, but honestly, like the flip side to it, you can use it to upscale Hisoka. Like Hisoka is still a pretty young hunter. So there's a couple different things to talk about, right? Like first off, when it comes to like overall aura capacity and aura output, Knuckle states that those are 2 different things in Hunter x Hunter that like get stronger the more you train them. So like, and he also says that it takes time to develop those abilities. Like people who have a large amount of aura and a large like aura output, that comes through like training done over long periods of time. So like logically that implies like if you're an older hunter, you should be stronger than the younger ones. Talent also plays a big role in that. That's why Gon is like 12 years old and he has as much aura as a mid-level pro. Just like that's mainly because of talent. But yeah, it's like in theory the older hunters should technically be stronger than the younger ones, but Hisoka is actually still pretty young. Hisoka's like 26 or 27. Actually, hold on. Let me Google Hisoka's exact age. I thought he was 26. I could be wrong. He might be 28. He's 28. My fault. Okay. Wait, is that right, or is Google just yapping at me? Um, because sometimes Hisoka gets things wrong. I mean, I'm tired, bro. Sometimes Google gets things wrong. But yeah, Google's saying Hisoka's 28. So that's still really young in the verse of Hunter x Hunter, especially when you have people like Netero who are 120 plus years old. Um, bro, my neighbor's dog just decided to yap. He needs to chill out, bro. But yeah, he said, bro, is his unk is Lila. True. Um, but yeah, it's very young in the verse of Hunter x Hunter when you have like the power of 10, because 10 is something that like makes you stay young for a longer period of time. And it seems that like, well, I might have to go back and read like the when 10's first explained, but I believe that was like one of the properties of it, that you stay young for longer periods of time. And I always thought that that was like the real reason why Netero looks like around the same age as Zeno, even though he's like 70 years older than Zeno is. Um, but yeah, so in the verse of Hunter x Hunter, where you can live to 120 years old and just like keep training, and like reach your peak around like 60 if you're on that Netero grind. Hisoka has a long way to go before he's even in his like full peak. But I would also say talent plays a role in that too. Talent and potential. Like, do you guys think there's people who reach their absolute pinnacle when they're only 28? Because QB said, bro, you're live while I ran. Really? Did that really just happen, bro? Hold on, let me Google that. That's wild. That's sad. Dang, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's rough, bro. Yeah, I hope that hope things don't get too bad. That's truly sad. But anyways, talking about Hisoka. Um do you guys think that there's characters in Hunter x Hunter that like reach their peak at around 28? Because the reason I ask that is because I've said before that like in some shorts before, I've said that that Chrollo was in his prime already, but I've seen some people say that they don't think that Chrollo or Hisoka are in their prime yet, because like Netero reached his pinnacle at 40 years old, and then he went beyond his pinnacle at 50. Yeah, Neo, I just Googled it. Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Hopefully things chill out over there. That's a true shame. I didn't know that. That was news to me. But but yeah, Ross, you said maybe some people peak at different ages. Another thing in Hunter x Hunter is that you can go beyond like the limits of your physical abilities. That's what Netero did. Like when he was 40, after training all that time, and at age 40, he went beyond his limits, doing his prayer stuff, like doing his prayer punches, right? That's how he went beyond his limits. So in Hunter x Hunter, you can reach your peak and then go beyond that. Also, there's a line of dialogue saying that Bisky did that too on chapter 137. Someone in the Discord said that. I think it was Catcord. Catcord said it. And then I looked at it and he was right. Like in the manga, it states that Bisky went like well beyond the limits of her physical potential. Or well, yeah, it's like it says something like that. That Bisky went beyond the limits of her physical potential too, similar to how Netero did, which is pretty crazy. Anyways, like all that being said, like Hisoka, he's so powerful that he's looking at some of the highest ranking hunters in the world, and like those were the only people he'd be slightly interested in fighting. Like he's looking at all these people who are voting for who the next chairman will be, and he's looking at a lot of them and saying like they're not even worth his time. What do you guys think Hisoka's scale is actually measuring? Do you think he's measuring aura, or do you think like Hisoka has somewhat of an innate ability to tell like overall how powerful somebody is? Or do you think he's just measuring the raw aura? What do you guys think, chat? Yeah, any viewers in Iran, I hope you guys are all right, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. It's sad. Because I think we have some viewers in Iran, too. I hope you guys are all doing good, bro. Giga Chad, you said, oh, you're talking about Bisky? Yeah, Bisky's cracked, dude. She's insane. Like, her stats in the data book have her, like, listed as physically stronger than Razor, which is pretty nuts. Neo, you said he's measuring how interesting they are along with aura. Hamid, you said how good of a fight, I think. It's possible. It is definitely possible, bro. But yeah, I mean, my interpretation of it is that he's just measuring their aura, just because we've seen other characters do that. Like we saw Netero do that when he looked at Pito, and we also like got. Well, it's also stated that Knuckle does that based off of his battle experience. Like he's fought so many people that he can tell about how much aura someone has the moment he starts fighting them. And also Killua has a line of dialogue where he's like comparing Pito's aura to how like Hisoka or Illumi's aura feels. So it's pretty much implied like multiple times that Nen users can just do that. Like you can just look at people and tell around like how much aura they have. Also, Killua has some dialogue talking about that too back in I think in the beginning of the series, like from just experience, Killua could generally get an estimate of how strong people were. But Killua's estimates were way wrong because he didn't know about Nen yet. Okay. But anyways, yeah, the big thing I wanted to point out here is like Hisoka's only 28 in a verse where in theory his actual true prime would be around like 40 to 50 if you base it off of Netero. So he's like halfway to, like he has another 20 years where he can just continue to get stronger. And he's already at a point where he's kind of chilling at near the pinnacle of the verse. The only people who are like objectively above him would be people like Jing, Netero. It's like if you're not a top 5 Nen user, he might give you a hard time. And he's only 28. Cosmic, you said Killua beats Hisoka? Nah, he doesn't. No. But anyways, let's go to the next one. He also has some really crazy feats against Killua's butler Gooto. There is a few things I wanted to talk about in this fight. Like, there's something that I think that's underrated about Hisoka is how he uses cards to fight. Like, he uses cards as if they're knives. So he's like enhancing playing cards, and then he sends them flying at people using his bungee gum. And if you're not using Gyo and you're just looking at him fight, it looks like things are levitating. So that's like where he gets the nickname Hisoka the Magician. Because if you're not using Gyo, he really does just look like he's doing magic tricks while he's fighting you. It's pretty nuts. But I just think this is a cool fighting style. Like, he's taking such a basic Hatsu ability and just mixing his creativity with it to come up with some wild combinations. Now this was the like real thing I wanted to talk about here. Like he catches Goto's coins that Goto flings at him, and he catches them easily. But he also uses bungee gum to like slow the coins down. But but like Hisoka's saying that the coins are firing with more strength than a bullet, and Hisoka's just catching them easily. So that tells you like if people tried to shoot tried to shoot Hisoka with a gun, he could just catch the bullets like styling on them like that, really with no problem. Another thing is when he starts using his bungee gum to enhance his movement and like just kind of fling around places like Spider-Man, he was moving so fast that Goto couldn't see him. And I think this feat's underrated. Like I wanted to ask you guys, how fast do you think he actually is here? Like how fast do you think he's actually going? Do you think he's hitting like Chi-2 levels of speed when he's doing this? Do you think he's like relative to God speed and like travel speed when he's flying around like this? What do you guys think? Alexander, you said top 5 fastest people. Yeah, it's just the problem with Hunter x Hunter is a lot of people we never even got to see their abilities. Like we don't know like half the Zodiac's powers. And I just think to myself, there has to be more speedsters than just Killua. Killua can't be the only person in the entire verse who has a speed Hatsu. He can't be the only person. Paper note, you said it wouldn't make sense for him to be as fast as Godspeed. Well, Godspeed's travel speed is not that fast. Godspeed's travel speed is relative to Chi-2. That's why I was saying, do you guys think this is as fast as Chi-2? Because in terms of just raw, like, running speed, Godspeed and Chi-2 are, like, on par with each other. Because there's a line of dialogue in the manga and in the anime where, like, they're first introducing Chi-2 and and like one of the news anchor people is saying that Chi-2 was running at like faster than 200 kilometers per hour. And then there's this scene where Killua is carrying Aluka and he's running at full power, and Tsubone says like at his current speed it's going to take him like 10 minutes, and if you do the math he's going at like about 200 kilometers per hour as well. So it's showing you that like Godspeed, Killua's top speed, and Chi-2's travel speed are like almost equal. So if you think that Hisoka's moving faster than Chi-2, like a better question is like if Goto fought Chi-2, would he be able to follow him with his eyes? King Shadow, you said Goto isn't a fast character as far as we know. That's probably why he can't react. I mean, I need to look into more like Goto scaling. Exactly how high does he scale? I mean, he, if you highballed him, you could say he's the second strongest butler, only like below Tsubone, who's Silva's like most trusted butler. He's definitely like the second strongest out of the ones we see, but I don't think we get to see all of the butlers. But it's just interesting to talk about like how fast do you actually think Hisoka was moving here. You can make an argument that it's relative to Chi-2 if you think Goto is like a very powerful character. But it's kind of hard to tell like how strong is Goto actually. Like for example, do you guys think Goto's stronger than Kaluto? Because I personally don't think Kaluto would be able to follow this either. Because Kaluto was watching Phaeton fight Zazan while Phaeton was like just warming up, and Kaluto couldn't follow that fight either. I think this would speed blitz Kaluto as well. Gone, you said 60 to 70% the speed of Chi-2 in my opinion. That might be accurate, yeah. That definitely could be. We also see that like during the Chrollo battle, he like dodges an explosion doing this. Here, so let's go to like the Chrollo fight and let's look at some of that. The Hisoka versus Chrollo fight is really like Hisoka being pushed to his limits. So there's a lot of interesting stuff there. But I think this is where he like, it's maybe the next next chapter. Yeah, it's right here. So like, did he jump or did he let's look at this. Oh, that's him just straight jumping. So he somewhat reacted to an explosion even without using like bungee gum to augment his speed. This is him just like base reaction. So like there's a bunch of people, they clap their hands together and it looks like Hisoka jumps right after they clap their hands and the explosion goes off, but he still gets like caught in it a little bit and then loses his leg here. Let me Google how fast are explosions. Let me see it. I'm just gonna Google how fast is an explosion with MPH. So it says for detonations, it can be in the range of 4,500 to 18,000 miles per hour, like high explosives. So if I do the low end, 4,500, what is that divided by Mach? Wait, what is Mach 1 in miles per hour? Wait, what? I thought the speed of sound was like 300 something. Wait, Mach in mph. Okay, I'm getting that Mach is 767 miles per hour. I thought that it was 300 something this whole time. Anyways, so how about like Mach 10, maybe Mach 20. And this was, what did it say explosions are? Or was it 4,500? Let me see, how fast is an explosion? So it's like detonations can range from 4,500 to 18,000. If we just take the low end, 4,500 in Mach, I think that's like, is that Mach 9? No, it's Mach 5. Yeah, that's like Mach 5. And he's like reacting to that without using bungee gum to augment his speed. But I mean, to be fair, it's like, yeah, this is him. He was fighting a bunch of these puppets at once, and then he gets like snuck by all of these ones. They clap, and right before the explosion goes, or like maybe it's happening at the same time, you see this like symbol here. It looks like he's jumping away. Then you see the explosion go off, but he still like gets hit by the explosion, like he's like jumping out of the explosion. So he reacted to it somewhat, but still got his foot blown off. And that was what did I just say that was with that Mach 5? Oh no, my math is gone. Wait, was it Mach? Yeah, that's like about Mach 5 or Mach 6 in reaction speed. And that's not even using like bungee gum to augment his speed at all. Like he's faster when he uses bungee gum to like propel himself places. I don't know, you could make an argument that like when he's zipping around using bungee gum like this, he might be like a cheap 2 level dude. In terms of just like travel speed, it's possible. But reaction speed and travel speed are different. But this fight is pretty crazy. I kind of wanted to just yap about this fight, the impressive things Hisoka pulls off in it, but also just like how impressive Chrollo is too. Like this entire fight, I don't think Hisoka actually lands a legitimate attack on him. Like he hits Chrollo, I think twice in the entire fight, but both of those attacks were things that like Chrollo was expecting him to hit him with. Like it was all part of his plan. And we actually see in a couple other fights, like Killua versus Genthru's minion, everything Killua did in that fight was like part of a trap. And like he gets hit one time, but that was also part of his plan. So it kind of parallels that. Also, if you look at Gon versus Genthru, the moment Gon starts following the plan properly, he doesn't get hit again after that. So it's like, if you set up a plan that guarantees victory, you can do it without taking damage. So if you're like going beyond a person's expectations to the point where you're hitting them even when they have like a perfect plan, then that's pretty crazy. Alexander, you said Hisoka having a Nen leg will boost the speed. Yeah, now he also has a Nen foot. Like, one of his feet are made of bungee gum. So, like, maybe this kind of speed that he's doing here, where he's just zipping around all the time, maybe he can just do this for free now. Maybe. I really do want to see Postmortem Nen Hisoka fight. I don't know if we'll ever get the chance to, though. I really don't know if we'll ever get the chance to. Like, see him go all out the same way he did against Chrollo here. I can't show everything in this fight, but I can show some things. Like, here, let me go back to the chapter before this. Yeah, I want to see the battering ram part again. This fight was actually crazy. It's just such an in-depth battle where Hisoka's trying to like figure out exactly what's happening because Chrollo's hitting him with like a plethora of abilities, and he's trying to figure out his plan all at the same time. It wasn't a fair fight from the very beginning. He was like set up to lose, but it's just still very interesting seeing like Hisoka's intelligence and abilities being pushed to the limits here. And this is something I need to analyze more in the fight too, because Hisoka was expecting there to be like 20 or 30 puppets, but there was like hundreds. There was like hundreds of people swarming him. So I need to figure out how did that actually happen. Neo, there's no debate tonight. It's just kind of me yapping about like Hisoka power scaling stuff. You said, Bromish, you said Discord debate is currently devolving since no points are being addressed. I'm about to dip on it. There's a Discord debate right now. Let me see. Oh, you probably mean in the debate channel. But yeah, this is an interesting scene to me because like he thought that there would only be 20 or 30 puppets. And this is him talking about like the process of abilities that he's getting hit with. But what I don't understand is like, why was there so many puppets here? Like Hisoka thought there'd only be 20 or 30, but there's like hundreds. I don't exactly understand why. Does anyone in the chat know why? Why was there so many puppets when Hisoka thought there'd only be 20 or 30? Mighty, you said Chrollo killed all those people? Yeah, I need to analyze this fight more because there's just so many like different layers to it. There's a lot to pay attention to because there's so many like complex abilities happening at once. But I think this is an interesting scene. Wait, maybe this will explain it. Effectively, he's giving a command to all the puppets and making it easier to hide. So yeah, like Chrollo was hiding amongst the puppets during the fight too. Like a big portion of the fight, Hisoka was just trying to find Chrollo. But I still don't understand why there was so many though. One thing I was thinking is maybe he made these puppets before the fight started and just had them sitting in the crowd. That might have been what he did. He might have like had the puppets sitting in the crowd before the fight started, and that could explain why like Hisoka thought he was only going to get attacked by 20 or 30 of them, but like he gets swarmed by like 100. Neo, you said it's because Chrollo took more time to prep than Hisoka thought. Chrollo was able to do more work in the crowd while having him distracted. Yeah, that could be true, man. Because I think he might have like set these puppets up before the fight actually started. And then you see Hisoka like battling them all. This is actually pretty interesting. You see like Hisoka can shoot bungee gum from each of his fingers individually. I don't know if we've seen him do that before this. Like shoot multiple strands of bungee gum at once. Well, I mean, in the Castro fight, we did actually see him hold like multiple strands. But yeah, this is a pretty crazy scene where he just makes a battering ram out of like the puppets and starts smashing people with them. But he's getting swarmed by like well over 100 people. Yeah, and the dialogue actually says hundreds of audience members are rushing to attack Hisoka. And then like something he's doing throughout the fight is like he ripped off one of the puppets' heads and he's just using it to like disintegrate the other puppets' heads. Like he's covering the puppet's head with aura and then just flinging it like a bullet and just like obliterating people's skulls with it, which is pretty crazy. King Shadow, you said he did it in Greed Island too? That's pretty sick. And then he's also using Shalnark's ability in the background. And Chrollo somehow managed to like make the head that Hisoka was using as a weapon. Chrollo like found a way to make it explode. I don't exactly remember how he did that. How did he do that? He said that was when. He said he kept track of which body the head belonged to when he severed it. Oh. So like the first head that like, so in the fight, Hisoka chops one of the puppets' heads off. Then like Chrollo found the body, the like body that had a severed head, and then he marked it with sun and moon and was just like waiting for a specific moment to blow up the puppet, and it blew up the head too. And like he said, he seemed to be reeling from getting hit, but it was to conceal the time it took to turn the body into a maximum power bomb. So like, yeah, like that was something else I was trying to say earlier. Like earlier in the fight, Hisoka did land an attack on Chrollo, but it seems like that was part of Chrollo's plan too. He was just like, he got hit by Hisoka like one time, and he pretended to have taken a lot of damage from it, but really it was just a distraction so that he could turn this puppet into a bomb. And it says the body can't make itself explode. He marked someone with the minus and manipulated him with the cell phone, making him touch the body's plus mark. And Hisoka had like bungee gum to the ceiling to like save himself and zip around like he did here. He had some bungee gum attached to the ceiling, but like when Chrollo blew up that puppet, it like made him lose the ceiling bungee gum as well. Womack, you said, honestly, Knuckle and Shoot might beat Hisoka. Like, they have a chance to do it. I mean, it's just like the hit and run tactics that Knuckle and Shoot can do fighting a person is really powerful. Like, it doesn't take long for Knuckle to seal someone's aura. But I think in like a hand-to-hand fight, like Hisoka's superior to Knuckle. So, like, if Hisoka's just fighting Knuckle, Hisoka's gonna win. But if Shoot's backing him up and like can find a way to make Hisoka blind, that would be a big advantage. Also, we've never seen Hisoka use N. Do you guys think Hisoka can use N? Do you guys think Hisoka can actually use N? I think if Knuckle and Shoot both fight Hisoka, yes, they would have win conditions, but honestly, I might still lean towards Hisoka just winning that fight extreme diff anyway. Do you guys think Hisoka can use N though? And also we see here Hisoka like shooting bungee gum from his feet. I don't know if he had ever done that before this fight. I don't know if we'd ever seen him do that before. Kangaroo, you said probably. Hisoka's a Nen genius. He can definitely use N. I would think that he can use N too, because we see people that like don't really seem that impressive use N. Like Kurapika talks to one of the bodyguards in the Succession War, and Kurapika's like, yeah, this bodyguard here is using N over the whole room. He's pretty impressive. Like, If some of the bodyguards can use N, then I think Hisoka can too. Also, like there are some scenes where like there's this one scene after the Greed Island fight. Maybe I can pull that up. It's after the dodgeball fight where he like senses Kaluto hiding behind a tree without using N. Um, I think that's around like I might not be able to find it right away. Is it 170? If it's not on this chapter, I might be cooked. Oh wait, I got it right. Yeah. So yeah, he says it right here. He's like, "You in the shadows, was it your ability?" And he said, "You're." Okay, this might be a mistranslation. He said, "You're not even using Nen." I think he meant to say, "You're not even using N," because in the anime, I think it says, "You're not even using N," and that would imply like Hisoka can use N. But Hisoka's just a super freak, and he can sense people like without even using N, which is kind of weird. He's just kind of an absolute freak. But it surprised these guys because Kaluto was using Zetsu. Like he sensed Kaluto while Kaluto was using Zetsu. Also, like this is like a fun detail. Like Kaluto was put into the Phantom Troop to replace Hisoka because like they all found out that Hisoka was a fake member. Alexander, you said the Kaluto feed is more evidence that he knows Bono is watching him. But yeah, it's just pretty crazy that he sensed somebody while they were in Zetsu without using Nen at all. He could just tell. But like stuff like that makes me think he actually does know N. And Hisoka's just kind of crazy. He doesn't really show like interest in fighting any of the other Phantom Troop other than Chrollo. Like he's open to fighting them all, but it more seems like Chrollo is just his main interest. Apex, you said sensing presence in general is a thing most competent people can do. It's just crazy that Hisoka can do it while Kaluto is a Zoldyck and using Zetsu. Yeah, because Kaluto was using Zetsu and he still sensed him. Sensed the Zoldyck using Zetsu while he wasn't using N. He's just a different kind of weirdo, bro. Pretty interesting though. Like, I think. Do you guys think Hisoka's a top 10 Nen user? He's not in the top 5. But we don't know who the top 10 actually are. King Shadow, you said his fingers are healed in that scene too. Let's look. No, they still look bandaged up here. They're still like bandaged. But Hisoka does have like insane pain tolerance though. Like he gets his limbs chopped off and stuff and doesn't really react to it. Maybe top 15. Yeah, we don't really know who the top 10 Nen users are. We just know that like Jing is a top 5 and that Netero used to be number 1, but we don't really know any of the other positions. But yeah, Hisoka's super strong, man. And I think postmortem Nen Hisoka is one of the strongest characters in the manga. One of the strongest humans by far. Like Hisoka was already like above pretty much the entire Phantom Troop, and the only one that was really debatable is like Chrollo. I personally think Hisoka is above Phaeton too. Painpacker would be a problem though. But I personally think like Hisoka's above all of the Phantom Troop, and the only one that's really debatable is Chrollo. Like Uvo could be a challenge, but like the fact that Uvo struggles with people who have tricky abilities makes me think that Hisoka might just be a bad matchup for him. Like, I think Hisoka would just find a way to kill him. Um, but maybe I'm overhyping Hisoka. Um, but yeah, I just think Hisoka would find a way. But the problem is, it's like Hisoka is a very like physical based fighter. He does do tricks a lot, but he's very physical based. So the question's like, how would he kill someone like Uvo who might just aura diff him? Like, how would he kill someone who aura diffs him? You know, like, do you guys think Uvo's strong enough to break out of bungee gum? Do you guys think, like, if he traps, like, let's say he traps Uvo's feet together with bungee gum, can Uvo just like break out of it? We don't really know. We haven't seen anyone break out of bungee gum that's like sticking their limbs together. Uh, but like bungee gum is weaker when it's like stretched out over long distances. Gone, you said yes, you think Uvo could break out of it. Uvo might be able to break out of it, maybe. I don't know about postmortem Nen Hisoka's bungee gum though. These are all debatable things. Yeah, Scotty, I agree. There's really no way to say. Like if you said like Uvo's like feet are stuck together with bungee gum, can he just escape out of that? There's actually like no way to know. We don't really know. Yeah, I think he would be able to overpower Hisoka's like pulling strength, but I mean like if he like attaches his feet together so that he can't like move anymore, would he be able to just like pull, like just walk forward anyway even though his feet are like stuck together as one? And it's also like if Uvo really was like this big threat, why didn't Hisoka ever like why wasn't he ever interested in fighting him? Because I think Uvo's biggest weakness is just like he struggles with tricky fighters. And seeing how he was getting speed blitzed by like 50% Kurapika, I think if Hisoka start, oops, my fault. If Hisoka starts doing something like this would probably like be faster than Uvo is as well. And Zoom, you think Uvo's demolishing pre-death Hisoka? I don't really think he would demolish him. Like if there's someone that can demolish Hisoka, then Hisoka's going to show interest in fighting them. But like we never even see Hisoka like give Uvo the time of day. Big Bang impact on the ground. Yeah, I don't know if that would break the gum that's like let's just say his feet are like stuck together. I don't know if I mean if he like Big Bang impact hits himself with it, then he'll probably take damage too. I don't know. It's interesting. But when it comes to postmortem Nen Hisoka, I don't think Uvo's gonna survive that. Like Uvo might still aura diff postmortem Nen Hisoka, but like I don't know. Do you think Hisoka's never fought anyone who has more aura than him before? I think he probably has. And he just finds ways to win, like but I don't know. It's a debatable thing. Big Bang impact to the legs. Amical, you said the 13th devil in dodgeball didn't snap the Nen. It was just too strong for Hisoka to pull the ball back, so he let go. Spicy, you said you don't think Uvo's against self-damage to win, but like if he does that, breaks his own legs to escape the bungee gum, or like damages his legs to escape the bungee gum, if Hisoka just keeps doing that, he can make Uvo like hurt himself. Like that's another thing. Like that actually might be his win condition, just like reflect Uvo's punches back into Uvo. If he could do that. Like we saw he was able to reflect Razor's dodgeball, but he broke fingers in the process. So I don't think he's going to be reflecting a Big Bang impact. Another thing Hisoka could do, maybe he could just outlast Uvo. Maybe he just waits until Uvo's like burned up most of his aura to a point where like Hisoka can like start overpowering him. Maybe he would do something like that. I just wish we got to see more fights in Hunter x Hunter because we it's like the most elaborate combat system I've seen in shonen, and it just needed more fights to happen. Neo, Uvo isn't beating Chrollo. Yeah, I agree. Uvo isn't beating Chrollo. But yeah, but also postmortem Nen Hisoka is like a different level. He has new abilities in his arsenal, and he might even just have like stronger Nen. Everything might be stronger. I don't know. It's interesting to talk about. But I personally think Hisoka's above all of the Phantom Troop. The only one that's like really debatable is Chrollo. Like I view him as an overall stronger Nen user than Uvo. It's just like how would he get past Uvo's aura defense is really the only problem. I don't even know if Uvo's like actually fast enough to tag Hisoka. He might not be because we saw Uvo was getting speed blitzed by 50% Kurapika. And like, I mean, no, sorry, 50% Uvo was getting speed blitzed by your Canoe Kurapika is what I meant to say. And like the same way Kurapika was slapping 50% Uvo around, I can see Hisoka doing the exact same thing, but like attaching bungee gum to him at the same time. The only issue Hisoka's going to have is like how does he get past that much aura defense? That's going to be the real problem. But I just wish we got to see Hisoka fight somebody who had more aura than him. We never got to see that. Ninja, you said, is Hisoka number 3 in terms of strength? Yeah, I think he is. I think he's in the Phantom Troop. Wait, let me look up the arm wrestling chart. Let me see it here. So yeah, Finks and Uvo were above him. The two enhancers. But like Chrollo is ranked like 7th on that chart. Like Machi is physically stronger than Chrollo. Pretty nuts. But alright guys, I think that's enough for this. I just wanted to yap about Hisoka a little bit. I might do a gaming stream after this because I want to talk more, like I want to yap more about Hisoka stuff, but I don't want to like accidentally spoil some of the things I'm talking about in the Hisoka versus Chrollo video. So I think I should probably stop it here. Or maybe one thing I could do. Who do you guys think would win between Chrollo and Hisoka against the postmortem Nen Chrollo if he didn't have any prep time? Like the Chrollo who has Sun and Moon, he can fight with multiple abilities without holding his book. Against Hisoka, if they're just fighting in an open area, there's no prep time, and they're just boxing each other. Who do you think is going to win between Hisoka and Chrollo? Alexander, you said, what do you mean spoil? It's just I don't want to, like, because I'm writing the Hisoka versus Chrollo video, and I don't want to say, like, the points that I'll say in that video. I don't want to, like, spoil those points here. You're saying Chrollo, Neo. You said Hisoka's winning. Hisoka, Chrollo. Hisoka. It's looking like 50-50. Chrollo. Maybe leaning more towards Chrollo now. What do you guys think about your Canoe? Because I just don't want to like spoil like my ideas all on how I think that fight will go. I want to save them for the video, but I'm interested in seeing what you guys would think. Hisoka's more adaptable. Hisoka's cards can't pierce Uvo's body. Yeah, he might not be able to. I mean, we just really haven't seen Hisoka fight people with more aura than him. And also, like, another thing is, like, could Uvo like tank Ko from Hisoka? If Hisoka pours Ko into, like, yeah, and that's another thing. Can you put Ko into items? Like, could Hisoka pour, like, all his aura into a card and, like, just chuck it at him? Can you do that? Yeah, because the Chrollo in York New doesn't have the bookmark ability, so like if he's using abilities from his book, he has to fight with one hand. That's something that people don't really think about. You think Chrollo still has more aura than Hisoka? I don't actually know about that. Like, there's a few things that kind of imply that Hisoka actually has more aura than Chrollo. Like, let me go to the start of their fight. I think it was 352. Was it here? No, it's not here. It's this next one. Yeah, this is like the one time Hisoka lands a hit on Chrollo. Is right here. But where's that scene where Chrollo's like kicking him a bunch? Did I already miss it? I don't know. But like Hisoka gets hit by him multiple times and doesn't really take that much damage. That implies like Hisoka actually has more aura defense. And here's Hisoka pulling off some crazy like trick shots and stuff. Is it here? I'm trying not to get a copyright claim. Maybe it's the next one. It's not, bro. I don't know what chapter it is. But there's this scene where Chrollo's kicking him like rapid fire, and he's just blocking it, not really getting hurt by it. Maybe it's in the first chapter of the fight, bro. Maybe I should have just looked at the first chapter. The kicks at the beginning. Oh, it is right here. Like a scene like this kind of implies to me that Hisoka would have more aura. Like he's blocking this whole rush of kicks and not really taking damage from it. He's doing all kinds of trick shots. This whole fight is just like really elaborate. But this, like, Hisoka gets hit a bunch of times but doesn't really take that much damage from it. Also, this is interesting. He says like bungee gum contract at max speed. So like his bungee gum can contract at different speeds. Also, there's like a different point in this battle where he uses bungee gum to like dodge an attack and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like give all of my takes on it because I want to save it for the video, but I think it's definitely worth considering, like, how Hisoka's still able to hold his own against someone with this much prep time and still land attacks on him. It's debatable whether or not, like, Chrollo planned to be hit by Hisoka or if he just played it off. Like, he got hit, not expecting to get hit, but he got hit and then just, like, used that as an opportunity to look like to make Hisoka not notice he was setting up more bombs and stuff. But yeah, for people who are saying like Hisoka wouldn't be able to surpass Uvo's like aura defense, like we saw against Kurapika, Uvo didn't go full power right away. He started at 20%, then went 50, then didn't go 100 until he got angry. If Hisoka's fighting him in the beginning before he's going full power, he might be able to surpass like 20 or 50% Uvo. Because I think that Hisoka is probably still like physically a little bit. Well, I would say he's at least on par with Emperor Time, like the Emperor Time Kurapika from York New. Because in York New, I don't even know if Kurapika knew Ken and Ryu yet. Like I think that was just legit, just 10 and Emperor Time. But that's a debatable thing. King Shadow, you said when Hisoka finds out the Zodiac Nen capacity, he said maybe I'll go after them. But when he saw Illumi, he got happy and wanted to fight. But when he saw Chrollo, he for sure wanted to fight and willing to risk everything in order to do so. Yeah, that's true. Could Jing beat old Netero? It's a debatable thing. I personally think maybe, yeah, maybe. But all right, guys, I think that's enough. Enough for today. I might do a gaming stream after this. I'm not sure, or I'll just go to sleep. If I don't, if a gaming stream doesn't start up in like the next 30 minutes, that just means I went to sleep. But yeah, guys, thank you everybody for tuning in. The next video I'm gonna make, I might do a Gone is Overpowered video just to get one more quick one posted this weekend, and then aim to get the Hisoka versus Chrollo video posted next week. I might do something like that. How strong is full potential Hisoka? Might be a Royal Guard level fighter. That's a good question. I mean, I actually don't know like how much more potential Hisoka has. I don't know. Like, we don't have enough information on him to know like if his potential will just keep increasing. You said lit stream, thanks Neo. But I mean, like, let's say that Hisoka is someone who hasn't gone beyond the limits of his physical potential, and he can increase his Nen capacity for another like 10-20 years. Yeah, he might be like I don't know. I don't know if he'll reach Netero level. I don't know if he'll reach Netero. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll reach Netero. He might be like weaker than Netero, Prime Netero. Because I think Prime Netero was also like, I think Netero was also a genius who just like pushed himself beyond his limit. It's just that like Gon and Killua are even greater geniuses. There's like degrees to geniuses. But alright guys, that's everything for this stream. Thank you guys. Well, I guess to just quantify it, like let's say a hypothetical like 50-year-old Hisoka pushed to the brink, I think he'd be on par with like let's see, maybe he'd be like a little weaker than Jing is right now. He could be something like that, a little weaker than Jing is right now. Like I don't know if he'd be top 5 Nen user level, but he might be. Maybe he would be a top 5 Nen user, but not like the number 1. It's an interesting thing because we just don't know how much potential he has left. But alright guys, that's everything for this stream. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. And yeah, if a gaming stream doesn't start in the next like 30 minutes, that means I went to sleep. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Sorry I didn't go super in depth into like who I think is stronger between Hisoka and Chrollo. I'm trying to like save those points and not share them yet because I want to just save them for the video. But what I'm seeing, it seems like it's about 50-50. Like most of the fan base is kind of 50-50 on who they think is stronger between Hisoka and Chrollo without prep time. I think something a lot of fans don't really like focus on is the fact that like Chrollo and Yorknu is way weaker than this Chrollo that Hisoka fights. So yeah, it's interesting to like look into all those different dynamics. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about, guys. Thank you everybody